Okay, hello and welcome. Here we are, episode 14. And on today's episode, I have a very special guest, but I might be biased. So my love, my partner in life, Hert Leblanc. Welcome, Hert.
Hello.
So I really wanted to have Hert on the show because, over the last a little over 4 years that we've been together, we have lots of conversations. That's something that I need a lot of because my brain doesn't stop thinking and I need someone to share all of this craziness with. So yeah, we have some good conversations sometimes, and also just, daily struggles and things that we like to talk about. I don't know, I hope he likes talking about them because he listens and he talks. So
Obviously, you talk a lot.
So there's something that, in these conversations that we have that's always, valuable to me, or just interesting, or it's just stuff that I love to talk about. And one of the big ones is like having dreams and goals and pursuing them and achieving them. So, all of the struggles along the way and challenges and all the good things too, and celebrating. And then another reason why I chose specifically today to have him on, because if you remember, if you're a regular listener to the podcast, I was supposed to have him on last month because I'm having one guest per month right now, although that may change soon. But I said it worked out perfectly to have him on this month instead because February, of course, February 14th, Valentine's Day, the love day, and he's my love. So I decided to have him on this month instead. And also, interestingly enough, February 14th falls on, of course, the 14th. And today is episode 14. So there's those signs that I talk about that I love. He's not really into it. That's okay. But I like it.
Kind of. I'm not as sold on it as you.
I know. And that's okay.
Kind of.
To be. So some of you listening may already know Hert. You may know him very well. Some of you may not have a clue who he is. So just a quick introduction. So he's a father to Felix, my partner for just over 4 years now. And he's most known around Francophone Canada, especially Quebec and the French parts of the Maritimes, for his music. So he's a French-Acadian country music singer, songwriter, and performer. He has 9 albums out now.
That sounds impressive.
And the most recent album is called Trente Trois, because at the time it was his 33rd year making music. And this year you said it's actually going to be 35?
35 this month.
Yeah. Gosh.
Time flies.
Yeah. So before we get to the conversation, there's one thing that I want to put to rest. I love this. So who chased who? For people who can't hear, we put the video on YouTube as well, but if you're just listening to the podcast, he was just pointing at me. And like I said, right? I told you in a previous episode he was going to say it was me, and then I'd say it was him, and then I think we
I always tease her about that. She was chasing me around, so
yeah. It's funny because we both know the real story, and I'm not going to say the real story is he chased me. It was, a little of both.
Yeah,
back and forth. It was not forced at all. No one was chasing. It just kind of happened.
Our first date was going to drive her to Halifax for a doctor's appointment.
That's love, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, moving on. And I always think of this. I don't know if I told you this before. I probably did, but in my mind, overthinking mind, sometimes I think that maybe not, but maybe some people may think that I was interested in you because of who you are and what you do.
No, you didn't know me.
I know, that's what I said. And some people may think that, but it's not true at all, because it took me a while to make the link. Like when I was younger, I did know his music, but it took me a little bit to make the link and to realize, but yeah, he has reached a certain level of success, and
surprisingly enough, I didn't know her either.
But there's just something about Hert that drew me to you. I don't know what it was, and I can't really explain it or put it into words, but there's something special about him. No?
Yeah. If you say so, yeah, all right. Sure.
And then the more I got to know him, like just, it didn't take very long, but the more I got to know him and I made the link, something that I really admired about him was that he was living the life that he loved, the life he wanted to live. And that's been my story for a few years now, wanting to live a life that I love. And that's like, I guess I envy that of him. But also I really admire that because he took the road less traveled and he's going to talk about his story. And, he's reached a place where he's really comfortable in, the lifestyle that you have. Of course, not during COVID times,
Yeah.
but pre-COVID, and hopefully we'll get back to that normal.
It's hard for a lot of people, not only me.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
only musicians.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, you found your passion and you're living it and you're loving it.
Yeah, I had a passion for music at a young age, listening to Hank Williams with my mother here on the record player. So yeah, I just wanted to sing all the time.
Yeah.
And that's one thing.
So that's where it started?
Well, my love for music was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was there with my mother. We listened to old country music. And yeah, I just wanted to sing that stuff all the time. And when would go over to my grandpa parents, they would make me sing too, and they put on a record, and they'd ask me to sing with the record. So I knew I always liked that.
So did everyone, like your brothers and your sister, sing as well, or do that
No,
around the house?
no, they're my two brothers were good hockey players. It was hockey here all the time. I wasn't a good hockey player, so I took on something else. And it's funny, going back, I remember me and my brother and two cousins. There was an old car, I don't remember if it was a Buick or an old Ford, and it was junked. And we would go there all the time, and I would get on the trunk of the car. It was junk, so it wasn't moving or anything. And the others would sit down and watch me, and as I sang, my favorite song back then was like 4 or 5 years old, was Galveston by Glenn Campbell. So yeah, so it's standing on the trunk of an old car and singing.
So how old were you then? You said 4 or 5?
Oh, 4 or 5, because we moved here in Bois-Joli when I was 6. I started school here, so it was before then.
Okay.
Used to live down in Bouctouche downtown.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah.
And so after that, you were saying that you really, I think, fell in love with performing, or kind of got a taste of performing.
Yeah, because I got in a school choir from grades 5 to 8, I think. Yeah, 3 years. So my highlight for the year, we would practice all year, and my highlight for the year, the last 2 weeks of school, we used to go around school in the district and churches, and we'd perform. And I just ate all of that up, right? I used to love that. And I was looking forward to that every time.
Okay.
So I knew I didn't know I was going to make a living out of it, but I knew I wanted to do that.
You wanted to perform?
Yeah, for sure, yes.
And so it was a choir in the school. And so, like, what kind of songs did you sing? I never asked you this before.
Wow.
Is it like religious songs?
Some of them, and some of them were just, fun songs. And
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We didn't have a genre that we used to.
But it wasn't like a church choir, though.
No, it's not a church choir. No.
Okay. Cool. So that was when you were grade 5 to grade 8, and you knew you wanted to perform. And so, like we were talking about just before recording, that it's not, like you said, you didn't know that you could make a living. Well,
the thing is I knew I wanted to play in a band. So I was talking about starting a band all the time, but I knew nothing about starting a band. But I talked about it all the time. I sang in parties and stuff. And one of my friends, one of my good friends, Butch, Hert Leblanc, he asked me if I wanted to join the band, with Gerald Delhunty and the guys. So we went to practice, and we sang for, I think it was his grandmother's anniversary, and something like that. Anyway, but then it took off from there. That's the first band I played in.
Okay.
And no, actually, the first band I played in, I was doing harmonies for a local band here. Just harmonies, sang one song or two songs a night.
Was that the one where you had a panic attack?
Yeah.
So you have to tell that story. So he wanted to do this so bad. Even like when you was it first singing, you were hiding.
Yeah, my first practice with that band doing harmonies is I went to it was a basement of my friends here right up here, and yeah, so I was like I didn't want to do this. I wanted to do it so bad, but
Yeah.
so I was hiding behind a great big bass amp. It was a bass amp on a brick, so I was sitting down there and singing like this, and then like after a while I just got out and I joined the guys, and but I was
You were really nervous.
really nervous. Yeah.
So it's normal to be nervous.
So after that, well, I played with that band and we practiced a whole lot. And then after that, I had my first gig in Rishabakto here, and then I got a panic attack. I just couldn't go, so I had to go to the hospital with my mother, and the doctor gave me
Adamant
to
or something?
something like that just to calm me. And then as we got out of the hospital, she started driving towards Boktush, and I said, no, I'm going the other way. I'm going to go play. I was
Wow.
calmed down, and
Yeah.
so that's how bad I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love the story. So just realize, you wanted it so bad. It was so stressful and nerve wracking for you to do, but you still found a way to do it because you just wanted it so
Yeah,
bad.
real bad. And then after that, that band broke up, and then we started with Sweet Temptation, which is Butch, the story I started telling you. And yeah, but after playing around as a local band, we decided to go on the road, and that's when reality hit, right? Because uh, early 80s and or mid 80s, and you say to somebody around in Boktush, small town, you say we're going to go play music on the road and do a living out of it, and that's it. And then people would, look at me funny and they say, yeah, right, and you lazy, you don't want to find a real job, you don't want to work or something like that. It was just a passion. It's something I wanted to do. And one day I had an encounter with my mother, and she said, so I announced that I was going to do that, go on the road and play music 5, 6, 7 times a week and make a living out of it. And she looked at me quite discouraged, and she said, don't you want to get a real job? And she was working at a fish factory at the time. She was opening up clams for a company here in Bukdush. And I said, oh, a real job? You mean like yours, Mom? Like what you're doing? Slaving 12, 18 hours a day, standing up on cement? A job like that you want for me? And she started crying. She says, no, go for what you want. She said, I'm sorry, you know, go for what you want to do. And if music is what you want to do, well, do that.
Mm.
So, yeah. So she never talked about me. She always encouraged me after that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
She was my biggest fan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So then you did go on the road. And I know, the stories. You guys would be on the road, 6 days a week?
Yeah, 5 to 7 days a week.
Wow.
And sometimes in a row. Like we'd play, let's say, from Wednesday to Sunday and start on Monday again somewhere else till the next Sunday.
Wow.
And then start on the Monday, like it could go 17, could go 20 days in a row. So at times.
Yeah. It wasn't glamorous.
It wasn't glamorous.
From the stories
you
I've
gotta
heard.
want to do it.
Yeah.
But back then we had the mullet and the nice mustache. We thought we were cool. With the white jacket, the Don Johnson Miami Vice jackets.
I don't even know what that is. Oh gosh. Anyway, so we went through a lot of your story, I think. So what have you learned over the years about, going after your dreams and reaching your goals? But like you said, this was never planned. It was never like
planned.
when I think about myself, I have, a vision and I want to reach this place, but that just put so much pressure on me. And it's so interesting that you just kind of, your passion just kind of fell on you so easily.
Mhm.
You knew since you're a little kid. So many people still don't know what they want to do when they're older, like, an adult, 30s, 40s, 50s. And it was just, I don't know, I'm thinking about it and I'm just, my mind is blown because, and then you didn't have plan it and it just kind of happened. But maybe that's why it seems
Well,
like it happened easier for you,
yeah.
because it wasn't your big end goal the whole time, maybe.
No, I only knew that I wanted to play music. I wanted to perform, be on stage. That's what I wanted to do.
You
Even
didn't
though,
care about the money or anything.
yeah, no, obviously not. The first 3 years with Sweet Temptation, we make about 180 to $240 a week. No, not for the money for sure. But after Sweet Temptation, I got in. That broke up, or I left the band and I started playing with a local band here, and I got a job during the week, right? Because played weekends. So after that, it was pretty much all weekends. I always had a little job here and there, to
Mm, mm.
a flexible job.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes we play from Thursday to Sunday, sometimes only the Saturday, sometimes Friday and Saturday, but during the week, I mean, from Monday to Wednesday or Thursday, we need something to do. So
Mm,
always, most of the time, I had a job on the side,
mhm.
just to have something to do during the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, like, you're happy with the level that you're at. Like, I ask you this question quite often because I'm I think I'm the kind of person who always wants to strive for more and more, but you're not really like that, you know?
Well, not when it comes to my career. Yeah, I want little things. I'd like to
Yeah.
improve some things, but no, it's just yeah. I only want to maintain what I have and maybe get a little bit better, but I don't strive for the big stage and the big money and gone all the time. I never wanted that from the start. So
Mm,
but I want to perform. I want to
mm,
be on stage. I don't like. We talked about that many times. I don't like writing songs. I don't like being in the studio. Don't like practicing. I want to be on stage, but I know I have to do a little bit of
everything
everything.
else.
Like media to me is okay, but you know,
Yeah.
in little doses.
Yeah. So what have you learned over the years, about, to share with people about reaching goals or dreams?
Well, little steps for sure, but you got to have a vision, somewhat of a vision, and sometimes that
To know what
takes
you
you
want.
to know what you want, and sometimes that takes you somewhere else. But you got to at least start this way, having a goal. Okay, I want to play music. Well, how do I go about doing that? Little steps, and to get known. And if you need fans like me, well, you have to build them one at a time. That's something I learned. Not always glamorous, not always fun. Sometimes very hard, but
Mm,
you want to do it so much that you persevere. You go through tribes and tribulation, right? So,
mm,
and that's one thing I learned. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I like that line.
yeah.
Um, any last message you want to share with anyone who wants to create something new or different in their life?
Well, follow your passion, follow your heart. Your passion doesn't have to be your job, because for me, it's not really my job.
So,
Like some people's passion is skidooing,
yeah, we have this
right?
conversation a lot too.
Yeah. But you can't, you can't make a living out of driving a skidoo, but you have a job that permits you to do skidoo during the weekends or
Yeah,
whatever else. So your passion does, some people it's photography, some people it's playing hockey. Well, how many people make a living
yeah,
out of playing hockey, right? So, but it's to pick away at it all the time, and don't lose that vision or that light. For me,
yeah.
it's been a long road, but I'm at a point. I was always good where I was. It's just when something new came up and something better, oh yeah, I adjusted pretty good. It
Mm,
was
mm,
fun.
mm. But you are not someone, from my perspective, anyone anyway, who will push and force things. you're very laid back. You kind of
Yeah.
just,
But some things you got to push, right? If you want to make an album, you see me work
yeah.
last minute all the time. If you want to make an album, well, you have to write songs and stuff. So you got to some planification on. But I don't mind planning for a project has a beginning and an end.
Mm.
So that's a project to me. Once it's done, it's done. It's easy time for me. I go play music, have fun,
Mhm.
you know. But I'm not the one to plan
And to push and always
and to
go
push.
and
Yeah.
force. You're not. And I like, but you've had, a level of success that you enjoy without doing the push
Well,
hustle thing, right?
maybe it's just luck. I don't know, but I have confidence in what I do, and I like it. I love it. People see me on stage, they tell me a whole lot of times, you seem like you're having fun. I am having fun. I enjoy what I do,
Mm.
and that's the bottom line.
You think that's a key to?
Well, if you don't like it, you project that, because performing is a lot about energy, right? So I'm giving energy to the crowd or to the fans, and they give it back by either dancing with me or singing with me, or just that smile. And I mean, and it goes like this all the time.
Mm.
But for me to push all the time, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't enjoy what I'm doing if I had to do that all the time. I
Yeah.
understand people. I have people friends in the business that push all the time. They push all the time, and they're good at it. And that maybe that's part of their success. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just saying that for me, I don't push all the time. I kind of let things happen,
Yeah.
and sometimes I got to push a button. Or anyways, I have my eyes open,
Mm.
and yeah, I was lucky to have a couple of good hits and that people like. And but I think my I'm better. I'm at my best when I'm on stage. That's where I thrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember hearing you refer to yourself more as a performer because I don't know why, but you don't consider yourself a good singer
Well, yeah,
or not a great singer.
because I have friends that sing so well. I mean, I have friends that they sing like birds. I mean,
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I don't find that I'm at that caliber of
Yeah.
singing quality. But Lee Marlowe, my mentor, I talked about him. I talk about him once in a while, and she said, one thing you got to learn: you can be the worst singer in the world, and there's going to be somebody somewhere that likes you. So I kept that, but it's not. I don't lack confidence when it comes to my singing and stuff. It's just I know there's better, but yeah, I say my force,
Yeah, your strength.
my strength is performing, is on
Yeah.
stage live. Yeah.
Good. And I've talked about this before in another episode on the podcast for sure about, people, of course, it's just like one of those laws of the universe. The more good things you put out, the more good things you
Mm.
receive. And I have other friends who I noticed that, they put so many good things out and giving to people, whether it's time or gifts or whatever. But they're so blessed. They receive so much in their life. And that's something that I see in you as well. You're very giving. You've even taught me how to be more giving. Um, oh my god, I was gonna cry. And I think that I wonder, is that one of the reasons why?
I don't know. I don't give to receive.
No, no, you should never give to receive.
No, no, because that becomes a debt. That's a debt. If you do something for somebody and you call them out on that favor, that's a debt. And yeah, no, I come from a giving family. My family was like that. We had nothing here. We're poor, but what we had, we shared, and always around people here. And so when I started playing music, I'm from a small town, so they asked me a whole lot to do benefit dance and stuff like that, right? For people that are sick or they lost their homes due to a fire or something like that. Anyway, so I do a lot of that stuff locally, but it seems to come back to me, and I'm not asking for it. Nobody owes me nothing. I just do it because I want to do it. I don't have money to give. I have a bit of a talent and a name around here that I can lend. And so hope to benefit other people, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. And it seems to come back to me
Yeah, I think so.
because I find that I'm very lucky doing do what I to have the chance to do what I do for so long. I mean, I've been doing that for 35 years now. I started when I was 4.
That's right. I already told them. For the regular listeners of the show, they already know.
The cat's out of the bag.
Well, I think that's all that I wanted to talk about. Is there anything else that you want to share? Last things that you want to say?
No, just be a good person and stuff will come to you.
Mm.
You know, sometimes you go through hard times and that's only temporary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's always an answer and it's temporary. It'll go away and then you can continue and
Yeah.
but never give up on what you want to do. Doesn't have to be a big dream. Doesn't have to, but have passions. Develop passions
Have patience.
and patience.
What are you saying? Oh gosh. Okay. I sense another conversation coming on after we stop recording. Depending on what it's about, I may share it again another time. So anyway, yeah, so there's our conversation, just learning a bit about Hert's story. I may have him on again in the future episodes.
Yeah,
We'll
well, hope he's going to help somebody out. Or I just had a story, and Sharla wanted me to.
Yeah, because
to
I
tell it.
find, like I said, I really admired his story. Yeah. Anyway, so if you're interested in getting any of Hert's music, you can go to hertleblanc.com, Hert Leblanc.com, or of course on iTunes, wherever else you get your music. Yeah, and we'll be talking again next week. Take care.